G'day, you seven. How we going? Just going to do a short video here to help you with today's work. You'll find it there on the link on the lesson plan, and then there will also be the solutions at the bottom. So make sure you do your work, you solve the equations, and then you check your answers and mark it, and then of course upload it to the due work for this week. So a few things here. Firstly, for this example one, if we're solving this equation, we need to just treat it the same way that we would if the pronumeral was on the left side. Okay, so we've done a lot of stuff with it on the left side. Here we have it on the right side. We're going to do the same thing. We just want the unknown on its own. It doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right side. An equation is ambidextrous. So we just want to rearrange things so that we end up with y on its own. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get rid of this fraction. I'm going to times both sides by 2. Okay, so I get 10 equals 3y. So remember, if you divide it by 2 and then times it by 2, they cancel out. I'm just left with 3y. I don't times that by 2 again. Okay, I leave it at that. And then for this next part here, I've got to divide by 3, and I end up with this answer. So y equals 10 thirds. So just be mindful of that when you're doing that. It doesn't matter if y is on the left or the right, you still solve it the same way. Here's an example. Okay, now these two examples look very similar, but we need to notice the difference. For example 2, I have a small fraction. I call a small fraction when the line just extends across one term. So the plus 1 is not part of the fraction, it's actually separate. So when we're using our reverse BIDMAS, okay, remember when we are solving equations, we're working backwards. We first have to get rid of the addition. So we do our subtraction. We minus 1 to both sides, and we end up with d over 3 equals 3. Okay, we do the minus 1 first because reverse order of operations dictate us to do so. And then we can times by 3 to both sides, so we get d equals 9, and then we've solved our equation because we've got d on its own. Okay, so in this case, we first subtract and then we multiply. For this one though, however, we've got a long fraction, okay, and we need to remember that there's a sort of hidden pair of brackets, okay, that is around the top when we have a long fraction here, which means the plus 1 is part of the fraction. Now, because we have brackets, our reverse order of operations, okay, BIDMAS in backwards means that we do the brackets last, which means we have to times by 3 first. Okay, so we end up with d plus 1 equals 12, and then we minus 1, which gives us d equals 11. Okay, so you see two very similar questions, d divided by 3 plus 1 equals 4, and then d plus 1 all divided by 3 equals 4, we get two different answers. So it's very important that the order of operations we do these things in matters, okay? Think, is it a long fraction, a short fraction, okay? When you're doing the question, do I need to do the minus or take away or plus first, or do I need to do the multiplying first, in which instance? Okay, so just be mindful, think about the hidden pair of brackets when you have a long fraction, and that means that you do that last. Alrighty, good luck with the work today, and I'll see you later.